All right, FightHype.com. Sean Tattel here with one of our best trainers in the game, Mr. Ben Davison. The man who Devin Haney just said, really knows his shit. So, good endorsement there. How do you see December 4th, how do you see this fight going, Ben, Haney and Diaz?
Yeah, I think that if Devin goes the right way about it, he will stop JoJo Diaz. I think that the experience picked up from the Linares fight will help him to achieve that in this fight. And that's really saying something because JoJo Diaz is no slouch. He's a two-weight world champion. So
I know Devin mentioned, after the Linares fight, part of why he got caught is he wanted that stoppage. He wanted to look good. So it sounds like he still wants to do that against Diaz. How's he go about it to where that kind of incident didn't happen again?
Yeah, me and you was just talking before, and I'll revert it back to the Corrales and Mayweather fight where Senior looked up and said to Floyd, 8 or 9 rounds, you're going to get to him, Don't change anything, just that consistent quality work will eventually be enough. And, people take the fact that Devin's saying skills pay the bills as people just associate, oh, I'm a boxer, or oh, I'm a dog. People can't comprehend that you can have a bit of everything. But like I say, the consistent quality work that Devin will produce against JoJo, I believe, will be enough for him to stop JoJo.
Looking forward to the fight. JoJo Diaz, Devin was saying you're giving away your game plan. Did he just make your job easier preparing for this fight? Or?
No, Devin's already got a 20-minute scouting report on JoJo Diaz that we've already done, and it's been sent to him. So we know everything that JoJo does, and down to a subconscious level, just what his reactions are to certain things that opponents do. So Devin will be very well prepared.
Of course, he's well-schooled Olympian, southpaw. What's the most challenging thing about this guy coming into this fight that you have to prepare Devin for?
Probably the fact that it's a southpaw, the shots come from the other way round, of course. Almost makes it, it just makes adjustments. Orthodox, it's been drilled that much and practiced that much, and you don't have to think to almost be proactive with your defence, whereas you have to think a little bit more with a southpaw, because obviously you don't come across it as much. However, JoJo's last 5 opponents, I think it is, were southpaw, so it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same for him,
He's good in the pocket, isn't he, Diaz? Is that probably his best range? Is kind of more up close, mid-range, and in close? Or?
He is, yeah, but I'll tell you what he's quite good at. He's quite good at setting a trap to try and draw you onto a counter, which then leads into where he has his moment. So it's important for Dev not to be predictable as well.
Interesting, because Sinisi Estrada, the champion at 108, she was saying Diaz is going to have to find a way to make Devin take a step forward. And I'm thinking, how do you do that when you're shorter and the guy? But is that kind of what you're getting at too?
Well, this is it. A lot of the time, a lot of people, oh, you're shorter, you've got to close the gap. Well, if I can use your punches as my entry to close the gap, I haven't always got to be the one to step to you to close the gap. If I can make you take a step into me and get underneath it, you're closing the gap for me. So it may be a tactic that JoJo employs. It's actually something that we've discussed in preparation, and something we'll be prepared for.
There's taste of that next level IQ Ben Davison has, but with him fighting back-to-back weeks with Tiafimo and then back-to-back nights with Tank, even if those guys get KOs in the early rounds, do you think Devin will leave people understanding why these guys aren't anxious to get in the ring with him, that he'll match or exceed their performances?
I think it's difficult because I think you do get with the general boxing public, oh, I like that type of fighter, oh, I like that type of fighter. You don't really get the general public that can go, I appreciate what he done there, I appreciate what he done there. I understand. They don't have the understanding of how that fighter may have set that KO up, or how Devin completely controlled the fight. They can't see those things, so it doesn't really matter too much what people think, as long as he keeps winning and doing the things that he's working on in the gym. And that's the important part, that the opponent, there's no point in, oh, we're going to focus and work on this area, but against this opponent you don't need to do that. It's important that the opponent matches the progression that you're trying to make in the gym. And I believe that this is the right fight to build off of the Linares fight.
Do you feel at this moment he's underrated?
Devin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so, because he's not, underrated by the general public because he's not blown away. But the actual fighters, he's not blown away someone in 2 rounds or 3 rounds, or people don't actually understand the level of what he's able to do and certain intricacies that he implements in the fight. However, I don't think he's underrated by the other fighters at all. I think they all know what he's
skills,
capable of.
Sometimes that style won't knock out a Gamboa or Linares, but they translate to the next level, right?
Yeah, and it's difficult, you see it with Canelo when he boxed Callum Smith, and this is nothing against Callum Smith, but Callum Smith, in the end was like, okay, I'm not of this level. And when you come across good quality fighters that don't want to get stopped, it's easier when you're landing shots, but I might land a few back, and some of these lads that are stopping these lads, they're getting caught as well. Throughout the fight, but when the opponent's having no success, it's very difficult for them to, when they then go into survival mode, and I can see the final bell here, I don't want to get hurt. At that level, it's hard to stop those guys when they subconsciously or consciously make that decision.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Diaz will make that decision in this fight? Or because he's in his prime? And
I don't think he will, exactly. I think he's young, I think he's fresh, I think it's an opportunity for him. The fact that he's been active. But again, if he does, it's part of experience for Dev to be able to go, this is how I need to continue to break that person down, or this is how even when someone doesn't want to get stopped, what can I do to still open them up? And that's all part of the progression that he'll be making.
And how do you visualize that fight with Teofimo if we ever do get to see it?
It's not, to be honest with you, it's not something that we've really looked at, because it's so important when you're coming across these type of fights. Like, there is no December the 5th.
Yeah.
There is no
cross
December
that bridge
5th.
when you get there.
Yeah, like everything in life boils down to December the 4th. Like, not, what's the next fight? December the 5th doesn't exist, so.
I'm sure you have a general assessment in your head, having watched them plenty.
But at the minute, full not, Teofimo, full focus on JoJo Diaz.
What do you think? Do you think Teofimo, he seems to want to keep calling out this guy, Josh, your other fighter. How serious do you think he is about fighting either one of them, Taylor or Devin?
I don't really know. I don't want to take nothing away from him,
Right.
The win against Lomachenko, what a brilliant win. It was a close fight, and there was a lot of talk that, the rematch is going to happen. Yeah, we're willing to do the rematch, but when it comes to it, the fight didn't happen. Now they changed their tune. I'm not saying it's because he didn't want the fight, or it could have been a financial, couldn't come to agreement, whatever, I don't know. But same thing for Josh. He's got Jack Catterall, and you cannot afford to not fully focus on Jack Catterall and focus on what's next. And the same for Devin, as I just said, the full focus on JoJo Diaz. And when them fights come out the way, then you can assess what's next.
And could I please just get your breakdown and thoughts on tomorrow night's big fight, Canelo and Plant? What's Plant's chances?
Hard to say, because I don't know what his approach is going to be. I don't know what they've been working on, how they're going to go about the fight. Pretty much now Canelo is going to go about the fight. So it's a difficult one. I think that the most important thing with Canelo is I've never come across a fighter that is so quick at recognising patterns. And this is the thing, a lot of fighters, they'll have success with something and I'll keep using that, I'll keep using that, I'll keep using that. Someone of Canelo's level, you have success, I'll keep using that, I'll keep using that. By the third or fourth time, boom, it's become a weakness, he's now using that against you. So you have to have 3 or 4 tricks, and you have to be able to be so well at playing them off each other and not being predictable. Is Caleb Plant able to do that? He'll admit himself, he's a fantastic fighter, Caleb Plant. He'll admit himself that he hasn't had the opportunity to show that he is at that level yet. But this is his opportunity, so we'll all be waiting to see.
Because you mentioned he'll take in your moves and figure them out. It looked like that's what happened with Billy Joe. He didn't even throw the punch where his head was. He threw the uppercut where
he's going.
Right.
And it was actually something I said to Billy Joe in the second round. I said, you need to start giving the head slot the other way as well. And but he also got away with Billy Joe falling in with his back foot with his left hand quite a few times. But I wasn't Billy Joe's head coach or his coach really going into that fight. I worked with him for a few days before, and I don't think he was. I think he was underprepared. If I'm honest, going into that fight.
Body didn't look.
Yeah, less than physically. I would say more so fully aware of the traps that Canelo sets, how he sets them, what he's looking to achieve from different postures, different positions that he gives. And he did. He recognised that Billy Joe, to be honest with you, more than recognised, to a degree, he pushed Billy Joe. He forced Billy Joe to go down that way. I said to Billy Joe, he's going to come out left hook, left hook, left hook. Doesn't matter if it doesn't land. Done the same thing against Amir Khan. Forces him round to that direction as a southpaw. If I'm forcing you around that way and I can't get my foot outside, I can't try and get the head slot across that way. I have to dip down that way. I said to Billy Joe, probably start establishing it to the body, then switch it up top.
He landed that combo once.
He did.
I think that was his best sequence.
He did, yeah. And obviously when he was attacking, Billy Joe had a habit of dipping down that way, and if he fell short because of that, he got into the habit of dipping down that same way. But he also done what I was saying against Amir Khan, left hook, left hook, left hook. Oh, Khan's having success. He set that up for 5-6 rounds, forced him around that way. Jab upstairs, right hook to the body. Jab upstairs, right hook to the body. Jab upstairs, right hook to the body. Jab upstairs, drop low like I'm going to go to the body, switch it over the top. He's setting those up 5-6 rounds ahead. And so to a degree, he forced Billy Joe into that position as well. He's phenomenal. He's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, how good is he? With your eyes.
He's on Mayweather. He's on the same level that Floyd Mayweather was on.
Floyd would say, "Hold on now."
I'm Floyd Mayweather's biggest fan in terms of his boxing. But he's on that level now, Canelo. Like, he is so many steps ahead of his opponents. It's ridiculous.
So if you had the gun to your head, make the right pick, would you pick
anybody?
For Canelo?
It's hard to say. Caleb's a big guy. He's a
natural 68, unlike Billy.
He is.
Yeah.
He's a big guy. He's a physical guy. He's been through, tough times. This fight, he's going to have everything on this fight, and he's going to be willing to go the full, give whatever it takes to give. So that's part of what we're looking to see. How, the question is, we don't know how, and it was the same with Billy Joe. We don't know how high they can take their bar, what level they can really take their game to. And this is Caleb's opportunity.